Welcome to Three and Out with Jason and Kevin. I'm Jason. That is Kevin. We are on the Orange and Black Insider on YouTube. It's us and it's John and Anthony over at OBI. And then we are also on the Believe Network. It's BLEAV. It's the channel's called Believe in Cincy. It's us. It's OBI. It's Talking Football with Bengal Jim and Friends. And it's Matt and Willie No Ball. There's great Bengals content every day. So make sure you subscribe, like, follow, all the stuff, all those things. Kevin, it's back. We're officially back. It's back. We're recording this on Wednesday, but you'll be watching this on Thursday, and which means tonight, Thursday, the Cincinnati Bengals play their first preseason game, their first game action, even if it's not a real game, first game action in the 2025 season. Zach Taylor has said that the starters will play. Looks like about a quarter. Kevin, man, how thrilled are you just the fact that we're having this conversation right now?
Oh, yeah, very thrilled. Like you said, it's back. I'd be less excited. The first week is generally pretty much a throwaway week where they put out everybody that they are going to cut. But with the starters taking the field, it's kind of a new energy. They're trying to start fast. I think there's going to be some important things to pay attention to, both in the offense and the defense, which, again, is rare for the first week of preseason. Also got some camp stuff to talk about. My boy Taj Brooks looking good. Shamar Stewart looking very good. Am I tentatively excited for the pick, Jason? Like out of nowhere, am I suddenly maybe just a little bit excited about this pick?
Maybe a little bit. I'm telling you, I saw some footage. And I know it's practice. You can't go all out and you can't, sack the quarterback. But I saw some footage of Shamar Stewart going against the twos, and it just kind of looked like he wasn't even trying. He was creating so much havoc in the backfield. So I am excited. I am excited about the pick. Especially now that he's here, I think, we kind of got down on him for a little while, and it's water under the bridge, especially if you produce, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't have anything against him for all that contract stuff. That was the agent, and the idiot. And he's a young kid who's just got bad advice. Like, it really is. That's all I think of it as. But I do know what you're saying about him playing versus the twos, to the point where I'm not certain there's any more value in playing him with the twos. It really does seem like he kind of just is having his way with the backups. I think the only logical thing from this point on, and I hope they do it, is to put him over top Orlando Brown or Mims and just let him go to town. Like, let him just all camp. Just let them go against each other. Let them sharpen each other. Because I don't think Shamar Stewart has much more to learn from the twos. Because his issue was always technique. Not putting together a pass rush plan. And he can get away with just pure physicality. If he's not going up against the starters.
Right. I do like the things I'm hearing about, both from Stewart on Mims and Mims on Stewart. Stewart talked about how when Mims gets his hands on you, you can feel it. You know what I mean? And vice versa. Mims talked a couple times about how quick Stewart is, and that when he gets his arms on you, he can get control pretty quick. No, it's exciting. It's exciting. The off season it's just long, especially when you finish with the way that the Bengals finished last year, missing the playoffs and everything like that, just elongates the off season. So the fact that they're playing against another team, the Philadelphia Eagles, 7:30 p.m. Thursday night, it's super exciting that we just get to see something. Something. Even if it's not the whole game, exciting. So how about we start with offense? Sound good?
Yep.
All right. What is it? What were a couple things on offense that you're really going to be paying attention to?
I think it's a pretty obvious list, but it's an important one. First off, what this matters, and what I mean, we do not, as of yet, know if the Eagles are sending out any of their starters.
Right.
So that changes the script a little bit. I'm going to assume they're not, at least not for an entire quarter. If they haven't said anything one way or the other, let's assume not. Which means this offense needs to absolutely dominate. They need to absolutely destroy the Eagles. It needs to look bad for them because it's the only way I'm going to feel good about where we're at. Specifically, if we do not see any of the offensive, the Eagles' defensive linemen out there, the starters, this O-line better hold.
Yeah,
no one better get close to Joe Burrow. Because I'm telling you right now, if either Cody Ford or Lucas Patrick lets a B-teamer through the gap at Joe Burrow, the franchise is going to panic. All of us are going to panic.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about the Eagles, what their plan is. Like you said, when it comes to just like the slow starts and you want to see something, from the offense, I think if the offense comes out, and they drive down the field and they score a couple touchdowns in their first quarter, whatever, or even 10 points, a touchdown and a field goal, I think we'll all walk away from that. We'll feel, I'm pretty happy with that. You can score 10 points in a quarter. You don't want to extrapolate that for 4 quarters necessarily with 40 points, but you get it. You know what I mean? You're pretty happy.
Yeah.
Last year, first year, or the first season, the first game of the season with the Patriots, that's a game that you expect the Bengals to put up 30 points. You know what I mean? And they came in, looked so bad offensively that's everything that I want to avoid in 2025. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I think Taylor
this is what I'm
the same
excited
way, because that's why we're doing things differently, which I applaud.
Absolutely. I'm excited to watch Taj Brooks. I am. I'm excited to see what he can do. I like the concept of kind of a lightning and thunder between he and Chase Brown. You know what I mean? And I expect Taj Brooks, since he's a rookie, probably to get a ton of carries on Thursday night. So I am very excited to see what he can do. I'll be watching Dylan Fairchild and just the guards in general. I think we know what we have in Orlando Brown Jr. and Amarius Mims. I think we have a pretty good idea what we have in him. We know who Ted Karras is. When it comes to the offensive line, I'll just be paying attention to the guards. And if the Eagles do play starters, they have some hellacious defensive tackles. So it should be, interesting. So, like the big thing, I want to see Joe. I want to see Joe come out and look like he does in the middle of the season instead of come out and look like he's slow and everything like that. But, if he does come out and kind of look slow, the way I'll see it is like, he's getting his lumps out now. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to be caught up over like how his performance is necessarily, but just the people around him in general. And then I'm going to be kind of keeping an eye on wide receiver 3, just the other wide receivers outside of Chase and Jamar, maybe that step up. I want to see something from Yosevich, Burton, Charlie Jones. I want to see if anyone really separates themselves from the pack. So you got anything else on offense?
I would expect Burton to get significant snaps if I had to guess.
I would think so, yeah.
All the talk coming out of camp is good, but kind of vague. So I think if still playing this close to the vest, I think they got burnt by supporting him before his big crash out.
Right.
And I don't think they're willing to do that again. But I do think that killing it in the preseason would go a very, very long way to securing his wide receiver 3 spot, which, don't get me wrong, I love Yoshi. And if we ends up being that Yoshi's 3, that's absolutely fine by me. But his ceiling is not Burton's ceiling. Yeah. And if we could get him focused and we could get him even to just take 50% of the wide receiver 3 snaps, this offense could look very, very different. Very good.
Oh, yeah. The other thing I'm excited about is the we know that they want to move Jamar Chase around a lot. They did that a lot last year. They had him in the backfield. They had him in the slot. This year, they said they want to do that with T. Higgins. T. Higgins has 100 catches as the goal. They want to put him in the slot. Imagine 3 wide receivers or a 4 wide receiver set with T. Higgins in the slot, Yosevich on the outside, Jamar Chase on the outside, and maybe Burton in the other slot. Or, we can't forget about Mike Gesicki either, because he's basically a wide receiver. But still, just the concept of moving, especially someone like T. Higgins, a big outside threat to the middle, you know what I mean? Just changes the whole dynamic of the offense. So it's exciting. It's exciting.
Do you expect that we're going to see much of that, though, in week 1? Because I don't.
No.
I think that with Fant and Gesicki both being confirmed not to play, and with T still kind of like figuring out the slot, I think this is going to look much, much more like traditional offense we saw last year. Traditional Bengals traditional offense that we saw last year. And it's going to be much more just about rhythm. As long as they get into that rhythm, I'll be happy. Because I don't expect them to start trying to develop any of this new stuff until at least preseason 2, week 2. Maybe not in the preseason at all. They might be playing it close to the vest because they do truly seem to believe in that momentum. And if they could just have a couple things no one's ever seen pop out week 1 versus the Browns, that could go a long way toward securing a victory.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to bring out or what they're going to show really on offense. I could absolutely, like you said, I could see just kind of last year's playbook. You know what I mean? Just kind of using this first preseason game, not so much to like install your season offensive game plan, but to like, hey, we're going to get all the rust off. We're going to get hit. We're going to get over that. You know what I mean? We're going to put the pads on and we're going to go full speed and we're just going to get that out of our system. So, you know, we've been asking, Zach Taylor to do this really since 2020, and he never has. The only year the Bengals had a winning record in the first 4 games of the season was 2021 when we went to the Super Bowl. They were 2-2 the next year, but other than that, they've been terrible, absolutely terrible. So changing it up now, I respect it. I like it. If Zach Taylor went into the season with, no, my way is the right way, we're not going to do preseason, it's just a fluke the way this works out, I'd be pulling my hair out. But you know what I mean? Like they're making a change. I see the effort, the change. So I'm excited about it. So you got anything else on offense that you're really going to be paying attention to?
No, I think we move on to defense. There's just a few things there.
Yeah, what you got?
Well, I don't have a lot to say because there's going to be some glaring holes that we are going to just have to accept are not filled. What I mean by that is our secondary is going to be trash. Dax Hill and Cam Taylor-Britt are not expected to play. Those are 2 of the 3 starting cornerbacks. I don't know what they're going to do with surrounding them, but even the Eagles B team they're going to get theirs. Against that kind of secondary. It just is what it is. But I am excited. I mean, get the other guys out there. Let's see what they can do. Newton's been looking good. Let's see what he can do. But we just have to accept that the secondary is going to be looking bad. So the name of the game for the defense is pass rush. Jenkins has been looking good, generating some pressure. We have Stewart. We have Murphy. We have Osai. We need to get to the quarterback multiple times because those are most of our A-teamers, and we're going against their B team. Again, we need to be making them look silly because if we don't, we need to panic.
Right. I totally agree about the pass rush. I'm not expecting interceptions or to hold the Eagles to 200 yards of passing. Like you said, it's going to be bad just because, you got Cam Taylor-Britt out, you got Dax Hill out. 2 of your starting 3 corners. So I do agree with you that the name of the game is going to be the pass rush. I'm excited. I'm not excited that Trey Hendrickson isn't participating. I want them to extend him so he's good to go. But I am excited that he's not going to play Thursday night because it'll give us a chance to see a lot more of Myles Murphy and Joseph Osai and Shamar Stewart. So I'm going to be watching edge, I think, probably closer than anything else. I want to see what Shamar Stewart can do in real game action when he doesn't have to slow down and just tap the quarterback on the shoulder. I want to see if Myles Murphy is going to take a jump. You know what I mean? I want to see if Chris Jenkins and McKinley Jackson have improved. Like you said, Chris Jenkins' pass rush from the middle has improved. I want to see that whole thing, how that plays out. And then I'm excited to see Demetrius Knight. He's with the ones at linebacker. I'm kind of excited to see what he'll bring next to Logan Wilson. And then, like you said, with the secondary, I think it's just kind of understanding that there's just a lot of, second team guys, and there's going to be a lot of third team guys. A lot of guys that aren't going to make the team are going to be playing a lot. But I do want to kind of keep an eye on the start. I want to watch Geno Stone and Jordan battle just to see, because the safety position was a mess last year for a lot of the season with Geno Stone. I do want to see, it's preseason. I want to see if there's, comes in with a little bit more confidence than he did last year. You know what I mean?
Sure. Can you get the all 22 for the preseason?
I don't know if you can or not.
I've never tried.
I think so.
Because I'd be interested in communication. If I'm talking safety, it's communication for me all day. And good luck trying to figure that out from the camera angles they provide for the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But other than that, just to wrap it up, because the preseason is, everybody says it's not important. And they're wrong. They're incredibly wrong. And they're incredibly wrong for this reason. It's that we have absolutely no metric by which to judge this team based off what we know right now. Because what we're hearing is, oh, the defense is lighting up the offense, like they're really generating some pass rush. Okay. What does that mean, Jason? Does that mean that Shamar Stewart's better than we thought he was going to be, that Miles Murphy's better? Or does it mean that the offensive line is bad?
It doesn't mean anything really. Yeah.
Every victory is a defeat. I sit here in my own head and I just go nuts every time I was like, oh, Jenkins is getting pressure. Like, I knew Jenkins had it in him to get a little pass rush juice. I knew he did that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then I'm going, is he getting pressure because the guards are just that terrible?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it.
It's spiraling. This is going to let us ground ourselves a little bit, where we're going to have a better idea on the other side of this, what the strengths and weaknesses of this team potentially could be. It just gives us a ruler, an outside metric by which to judge how these different groups are progressing.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's hard to judge. Yeah, it is hard to judge Chris Jenkins against any of the Bengals offensive line because you don't really know who's winning and who's losing. I absolutely totally agree with you. So I am excited.
Did Jenkins win or did Cody Ford lose?
Exactly.
I mean, who knows?
So I am excited to see them go against somebody that's not. It doesn't matter if they lose. You know what I mean? Like, that's a terrible way to say it, but yeah, I am excited to see them going against a team that's not us. So it is exciting. I think that the preseason is important depending on what you do with the preseason. For the Bengals, the preseason wasn't important because they didn't do anything with it. They didn't do anything with the starters with it. They started slow. I think teams that say, hey, we're going to get all of our wrinkles out right now, we're going to find what the problems are on offense and defense now with the starters, that's smart. And that's what we're going to do now. So I think the preseason will be more important for the Bengals this year than it ever has been in the Zach Taylor era. So,
100%.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, 3 games. I think what's going to end up happening, they'll add that 18th game, get rid of one more preseason game. We'll be 2 and 18 for 20 full games eventually. Yeah, I mean, preseason football, it's better than not having football. I'll say that. It's not great, but it's better than not having football. So it's just super exciting to be able to watch football Thursday night.
Oh yeah. I mean, I tried to watch the Hall of Fame game. I technically guess I did, but I was on my phone most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's when you know it's good football, is when like you're watching and you're not paying attention to anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got anything else, man? It's kind of a short show tonight, but we really don't know what we're talking about until we know what we're talking about. So we'll have a lot more.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I got nothing else, but next week we'll get back together. We'll talk about hopefully all the great things that preseason football showed us. Multiple sacks by Stewart, Murphy, just across the board. We lit up the Eagles. 10 sacks. 10 sacks, 40 points, all in the first quarter.
Yes, all in the first quarter. And then the Eagles left because they said this isn't fair. You guys can go ahead and go home. And then they just called.
Did you know that mercy rule can technically be applied in professional football? No one else did either. But that's how dominant the Bengals are going to be against the Eagles.
Yeah, that would be nice. That'd be nice. That like at a certain point, the Eagles are just like, this is just going to be bad for us. If we continue this, it's going to shake our confidence too much. We can't play. Just get them out of here. So that would be nice. That would be nice. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm excited to see something other than players slowing down at the end because they're not going to really hit. You know what I mean? Just real football, real tackling, real blocking, the whole thing. Hey, again, we are on YouTube on the Orange and Black Insider. It's us and it's Anthony and John on OBI. And then on the Believe Network, our channel is called Believe in Cincy. It's us, it's OBI, it's Talking Football with Bengal Jim and Friends, and then it's Matt and Willie No Ball. Like, subscribe, follow. There's Bengals content pretty much every single day. Got anything else, man?
Nope, that's it.
Yep. That's it. Again, thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you next week. Who day?
Who day?